I'll be covering the company overview, human elements, and synergies. For the overview, this was a $350 billion all-stock merger between Time Warner and AOL. Time Warner shareholders received 1.5 shares of the AOL Time Warner Company, while AOL shareholders received one share. As for the outcome of the deal, business schools all across the world refer to this merger as the worst merger of all time. Some of the failure was due to unforeseen circumstances. For example, months after the deal closed, the dot-com bubble burst and the economy went into recession. Advertising dollars evaporated and AOL was forced to take a goodwill write-off of nearly $99 billion in 2002. The total value of the AOL stock subsequently went from $226 billion to about $20 billion. In 2009, when both parties failed to realize the synergies, the merger ended with the separation of the two companies. So 9 years after the merger took place, the companies no longer existed as a joint entity. The reasons behind the failure can be summarized as being the product of the failure in due diligence process of evaluating the organizational compatibility. That leads me into the human and emotional elements of the deal. Merging the cultures of the combined companies was problematic from the get-go. Certainly the lawyers and the professionals involved with the merger did the conventional due diligence on the numbers. What also needed to happen, and evidently didn't, was due diligence on the culture. The aggressive, and many say arrogant AOL people horrified the more staid and corporate Time Warner side. The promised synergies failed to materialize as mutual disrespect came to color their relationship. Integration only took place at a superficial corporate level. Insider reports claim that the cultures were too different and that the employees at the two companies seemed to resent one another. This was made worse by a very unstable management structure, with both companies feuding over the top executive positions. Example of this is 4 different CFOs across the 3 years of the time span. And then the resignation of the Time Warner CEO only a year after the merger closed. As for the synergies of the deal, there were 3 main synergies. And I've taken comparing these to the Three Stooges because in the end they provided more humor than effectiveness. The first synergy, we'll call Larry, was tactical synergies. This was made up of the 2 types of synergies: revenue enhancement through existing products and reduced operational expenses. The second synergy, Curly, was strategic opportunities. These being a high level of possibilities created across the new entity beyond cross-marketing. For example, AOL gaining access to nationwide broadband cable. Another example being film, so using data analytics to track user engagement of advertisements, then developing profiles and specific target advertisements to those users. The third synergy, Mo, was transformational, aka no one knows. So there's no examples of the synergy existed, and really was the possibility of what could potentially be. Also nicknamed this synergy the magic pixie dust.